morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, in 30 seconds, the pharmacy opens up. And I gotta pick something up this morning, and I was thinking maybe I'll bike over there. And if I do, maybe I'll wear my cell phone and video it. Okay, let's get on here today and we'll see what happens. I want to, today, see if I can solder the spider onto the antenna array here. I put this out here to remind me to tell you that yes, I did use the Pache airbrush yesterday. And that'll be in the rollback. Once again, to get through it, I'll put on the bottom of the screen where you can quickly scrub ahead to. One of the viewers was saying he scrubs ahead through the model making and tries to get through to stuff like this. Yeah, I wonder how many people do that. Probably not too many. Well, you never know. Don't blame me if you do. Anyway, yeah, let's roll back and get that over with. I am pretty sure that a lot of you had figured out what it was that I was talking about spraying. Yeah. Okay, I don't think I need to worry about the underside. I just want to get what's visible, and if there's enough Stynylrez left later, then maybe I'll just do the underside. But I think if I spray down at an angle like this, I'm not going to get it up onto the white styrofoam. I do have a piece of scrap here. I want to see what does this Stynylrez do to the styrofoam. Okay, I shook this up pretty good just a while ago in the paint shaker. I added a little bit of isopropyl to it to thin it out. Maybe that was not a good idea, but all right. Now I've got the large nozzle in here, the 1.06 nozzle, and all right. Let's try not to get any clogs here. Maybe I wonder if we should be sampling it with a pipette. Maybe if I just go real slow here, no, I don't know. Maybe I should have. It doesn't look lumpy. I think the last time I used this stuff, it looked pretty bad. Okay. Needless to say, Jeff, I am definitely not wearing your shirt. Okay. Now let's move slowly here so we don't accidentally spill stuff. You know, I don't think I actually ever used one of these jars before. I used the cups. I want to just try this and see how it goes. I've got the air compressor set for 20 pounds. All right, now, may as well use this as a test piece, and we'll get our nozzle opened up here. Probably going to blow it away. I think I turn it that way to open it. Let's see what happens here. There we go. All right, that'll be good enough for test. Now remember, in yesterday's episode we concluded that this will work on wood. So I wonder if I do the underside first here. Okay, let's see how this is going to go. Now this spraying actually takes just over 20 minutes. Yeah, just over 20 minutes. So I'm going to speed it up here about 10 times or so. We've only got one life, right? Oh, I forgot my fan. Well, I do believe we got it. This dries very quickly. I think the thing I got to do right now is to get my parts cleaned up before the style res gets to the place where I can't clean it up with anything. I know if it was the Tamiya paints, the Windex would be great right now, but I don't, from what I remember, the style res does not. Oh well, it doesn't have to be perfect. All I wanted it to do was just sort of get rid of that light colored wood that just sort of, well, we could see it from 100 yards away. So it's basically done, at least for now, and we'll see how it looks when I get this all off of here. I don't think I got any style res, any black up onto the white. I think it'll kind of look nice, a combination of black and white. At least that's the plan. All right. Did you notice when I was handling the wood, it wasn't the paint wasn't coming off? I hope I hope that's a sign that it's not going to come off onto my clothes. Okay, we are all cleaned up here. I'm just going to wait a little while before we reassemble all the parts, just to make sure there's no moisture in any little crevices anywhere. I'm pretty sure this is all like stainless steel and what have you. I don't think any danger of anything rusting, but okay. Once again, this Pache airbrush, you know, if it could spray this old lumpy Stanley-res, you know, now I know the nozzle did clog there a couple of times, and what I did was I just closed it right down, and then opened it out again. Let the needle go in, and then unplug the hole, and then back off, and that seemed to work. But I only had to do that twice. When I was cleaning up, I was finding little lumps and so on, but yeah, it did really well. And the Stanley-res, excuse me, it did clean up in warm soapy water. So that's all I used to clean this all this stuff up. And I think we're good to go for the next time. All right, let's recompose here and have our big reveal. Okay, so I was getting all ready to do the big reveal here a little over an hour ago, and I noticed in my monitor over there I could see my neighbor coming over. And I'm thinking, well, oh, okay, so I go to the door, and comes in, and he comes in, he sits down, and he says, are we having coffee? Because I had nothing ready. Well, you know how I say Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have a coffee visitor. Well, I knew it was Friday, and yet I had forgotten that he was coming over. So that's kind of scary. I don't want to be. He jokingly says, "That's the second thing to go is your memory." Should have asked him what was the first thing. Okay. Well, there we are, folks. How's this look? I think that's going to be all right. Could have painted a little bit more there. Now, is any of this going to come off? I don't think so. I think this Stanley-res, yeah, I think that's going to look all right from a distance. And this foam, you know, it doesn't. Yeah, well, I mentioned this before, and this is where I sprayed the foam. Now maybe I should maybe get one of my white gloves and put it on and see if this is gonna. I was kind of worried that maybe the inside of my pants might get, but I don't think so. I think this is going to be all right. All right, let's go try this out. I have to go for a ride later. All right. Now later I did go for a ride. And I didn't go too far though, because it did look like it might rain. And you know Murphy's Law. And Murphy's Law says, well, it's going to start to rain when you're at the far end of your trip. Yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty happy with the way this looks, at least from the side. Now, when you're not sitting on it, you can see that it's a big white seat, but when you're sitting on it, you're not really seeing a whole lot of it, especially when you have a big coverage like I do. Anyway, yeah, it looks pretty good. Now, I'm just checking here very carefully. I want to see, is one side of this piece of photo etch a little bit more detailed than the other? And offhand, I'd say yes, the side that is up right now appears to be a little less flat. There seems to be more contouring going on the individual. Okay, so in other words, this I want this facing out. So that will mean that our spider is going to get mounted on the back here, because this will be the back, if you know what I mean. And we got to figure out what part of this goes where. I don't want to bend it here. It's just a little bit too heavy to pick up with the wax pencil. Okay, so let's turn this now so that it's going to look now this does not make a whole lot of sense here. So okay, what it's got, I'm going to try and turn this so that it's like, oh yeah, now it is. Okay, so what's going to happen is this piece right here is this piece right here, and it goes to right here. Alright, so that kind of makes sense. Sort of lay it on there. Everything's going to have to be bent, but where would be the folding lines? I hear a siren going. They're probably looking for the guy that was on his e-bike going to the pharmacy a little while ago. And yes, I did. And it went not too bad. I videoed the entire trip, even including going into the pharmacy. And the whole thing only lasted about 16 minutes because I was going about as quickly as I reasonably could in level 1. And yeah, the only thing I cut out is when I did the transaction with my MasterCard. I didn't want you to see my PIN number. That's the trouble with high definition video, at least mine. Now, where does this bend? Does it bend like right here? And this whole thing goes in? Or, okay, well, now this is supposed to touch right there. Or is it a case of this goes in like this, and this bends here and goes in at a bit of a... Now I know what Paul meant when he said this step is a doozy. This is, oh my goodness. Is it going to be a case of, well, I think that maybe the best way to bend this thing, I really don't know. Okay, now you can see here, it looks like these two are these two down here. They're not really defined really well. So let me get this out of the way here. It's blocking the light. There are no folding lines. Oh, I wonder, maybe if I turn this over, there's folding lines. Let's just check the other side. Oh yeah, there, you can see them. There's a folding line. Now there's going to be pretty hard to fold right in like there's a folding line right there. So half of this bar, let me get this out of the way here, very gently. Okay, so half of this bends one way and the other half stays straight. Okay, there's a folding line. Is there any others? It appears that, yes, there is. It appears there's a folding line right here. Okay, so that would mean that this folds down this way. Maybe what I should do is just bend some of these just very, very slightly. Maybe I should get Andy's bender out. It might be just a little bit safer. Now I just took a glance up in my monitor as I was getting Andy's bender here, and I realized I just took that entire scene with the lens wide open. That means that the depth of field would be very, very shallow, and undoubtedly this was not as clear as it could have been. I think I did that yesterday in a scene as well. Okay, now we're going to want to bend towards the line. It's going to be really hard to, in fact, I know it's going to be impossible to bend it along that flat piece of what I was going to call it railing, but it's not. And should I use this one? No. Yeah, I'll use this one. Ooh. Why is that twisting on me? I guess I'm scared to crank it down. That's the problem. Now I'm going to end up bending it yet. Well, it sounds like the kids are having a good time outside anyway. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe I'll use this one. I'm more used to this one. Sort of. And I want to get it right underneath there. Just fold this up just a little bit here. Something like that. Okay. Now this other piece. Okay, this star piece here has to be folded. This point has to be folded up this way, and this point has to be folded up this way, as near as I can tell. And then it should go on there. Can't really get this in unless I was to go here, maybe. Well, no, it won't, because this pin goes all the way through. See, I'm trying to get it so these. Well, you know, I might have to do this off camera and use the Tamiya photo etch plier. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to quickly try and get these the way I think they're going to go, and then we'll lay it down in there and see what we got. Okay, I've got this, you might say, concaved a little bit the way I think it's supposed to go here. And, okay, so according to the drawing, this one, let me get something better to point with. I just want to gauge swabs. It's a little bit smaller. Okay, so this point right here is supposed to go to right here. And that is this piece right here. So that would mean that this one and this one are supposed to go to the corners. If I could get everything, get the corners right more or less, then bend everything else in enough. You know, like once I solder everything in place, go like this, very gently. Okay, you can see that I'm going to have to splay it out just a little bit here. I bent it in just a little bit too far. So that's going to go like that, and then these ones on the top have to be bent down more. So I'm just going to do that off camera again. How about the sides? How are we doing? The sides sides seem to be just about right, don't they? Yeah, they might be in just a little bit too much. This is going to be pretty close here. I just got to get the top bent down more. Okay, I'll do that off camera. Okay, I have changed our perspective just a little bit here. These ones here, I do believe, are supposed to actually maybe go in at a right angle. Okay, if I have this one attached there, like I'm touching on the top one right now, if that one is down there, and these corner ones, how did I get them so bent out? Well, maybe it's when I dropped it on the floor. Okay, that's getting a little bit better. I still like the idea of soldering some of them in place and then bending the others so that they will, and then use a heat sink so that I don't have it accidentally break loose. Okay, oh my, tweezer caught. I accidentally let it go like this. I've actually accidentally bent stuff before doing that, letting the tweezer go, and it spreads whatever it is. Which right now is alright, I guess, because I'm trying to pick it up. Okay, just let me think about this. In the meantime, let's watch yesterday's sunrise. Now, in yesterday's episode, I was talking a little bit about the sunrise, and then I forgot to do anything about it. Now, what I found, well, first of all, it wasn't anything spectacular. It was just nice. But what I did find that was interesting is that when I moved the camera around off of the bridge over onto the birdhouse, I just happened to catch the bird just at that time. And it seems like the bird was moving out of his house instead of into his house. Or maybe it was her house, I don't know. There's nothing like a good sunrise to make a person feel unstressed after doing this, even if it was yesterday's sunrise. Now here's the latest. I've got it now so that most of these, I guess you'd call them, I was going to call them supports, but whatevers, are believable. If I was to solder this one up here at the top in place, and then the three corners, as long as I could carefully bend the others so that they, whoops, I bumped it, sorry about that, so that the others were at least touching the array, that they wouldn't now actually have to be soldered to it. Okay. What do you think? I think that's a good idea myself. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll do this. I'll do this this center one here first. Get it. Just sort of eyeball it so it's right in the center, and then just tack it down, and then do the two corner ones. Then maybe this corner one, and this corner one, and then I can bend everything down accordingly. I might even eventually be able to. See, what I'm worried about is, let's say I go to, there's something to point with here. Let's say I was to solder this one down. I'm afraid that the heat could travel along and loosen this one, so I'm going to have to be sure and remember to put a tweezer or something on there to absorb the heat. Okay. I'm starting to feel stressed again. You know what? I think I'm going to have to watch this morning's sunrise, and then I'm going to feel much better. Now, this morning's sunrise was a little bit more interesting than yesterday morning's. And the reason for that is because we had clouds in it. Yeah, we had atmosphere going on in more ways than one. Now, let's not talk about sunrises anymore in this episode. Okay, I haven't tried this yet, but I'm thinking my tweezers should be in the right place, so it's not going to catch on any of this stuff. Or maybe it will. No, I think that this one right here, that you probably can't see, that I'm just almost touching right now, is up above that. We're going to have to bend that in afterwards. Now I want to try and get this one so that it is right on the center of that. That's pretty much it. It could go maybe a little bit towards you. Maybe I should put the macro lens on. Okay, now I can sort of see when I look up in the monitor that the center, you might call it a rib, is one segment, you might say, to the left of where this is coming down. So I'm going to try and move this over probably about 1 millimeter to the left. Like that. Okay, that's pretty much it. Now if I could put a little bit of solder paste on and then bring my soldering gun up from the bottom. Now, needless to say, I'm gonna clean it up a little better. You know what? I'm thinking I better call it a day here. Starting to do stupid things. Yeah, I'm gonna have to realign this. I'm gonna call it a day here, folks. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for the bike ride if you want. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow. Now normally we turn to the left here. Now this time we're going to turn to the right. Okay, now here is where I could have a problem. Let's just see what's going to happen here. Okay, we'll turn our power off. Okay, I'm just going to leave everything running here. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Marshall.
How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay.
It's beautiful out there, eh?
It's a gorgeous day. I came on my bike today.
Yeah, it's one of those days where it's not too hot. It's perfect, actually. How's the ride over?
It's first time I've been over to your pharmacy on the bike, so it's a little bit, you might say, iffy.
Okay.
I hadn't ridden for 17 years, and I just got this thing about 2 weeks ago, so I'm still
A little wobbly.
a little wobbly, yeah.
You just coming down the path here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, we should be like a bench or something here.
I think if I can get up against the curb, I'll be okay. I have trouble with my legs. I can't pedal it, so I've got both pedals hanging down.
Are you okay with the bag here? Or?
Yeah, I'm just going to try and wedge it into my pocket. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I didn't give you the stamp. I owe you the stamp.
Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. All right. As I've said before, I feel guilty taking this thing.
Oh, no, well, I mean, everybody's given something, right? So.
Yeah. But you hate taking advantage of the little guy. Not that you're a little guy.
Take care.
Okay, we'll see you. Okay, let's just wedge this into my pocket now. Yeah, that's going to fit okay. All right, now this is going to be interesting. Are we going to end up having to call the ambulance? All right, now swing my leg over. Very carefully, go slow so I don't fall over. Oh, that was kind of painless. All right, let's get our power back on. And cruise control back on. And level 1. There we go. We should be ready to go here. Yeah, it's reacting. Now don't go showing off. Don't go showing off. Now, as I was coming home, I was thinking about the fact that the camera's been running the whole time, and I was sort of wondering, is it still recording, or is it overheated and shut off or something? But as it turned out, it was still running. Anyway, I was also thinking about the fact that it was running when I went into the store, and the pharmacist had been recorded. And I was thinking, I wonder how he's going to feel about that. So when I got home, I called him up, and I asked for his permission to put him on YouTube. And he was quite okay with that. He was a little concerned at first that possibly he'd given out somebody's personal information, but then afterwards we realized, no, he hadn't. So, yeah, just in case there's somebody wondering, he gave me permission. Thank you so much for giving me permission. That sort of adds to the video here. Okay, let's carry on. Yeah, it looks like we're going to make the walk this time. And nobody coming up behind me, that's good. I have to watch here because sometimes kids are playing just around the corner of this fence. try and dodge the bumps this time. All right. Well, that in a way went better than I thought it would or could. So, yeah. All right. Now, about this seat, I was thinking if I left like where the post is coming here, cut a hole right there so it could drop down just a little bit and just lower it just a little bit at the back here. Because I'm finding it still feels like I'm sliding forward on it, and yet I don't want to cut this down anymore because, you know, I don't want to lose this padding. So, all right, that's the bike ride. I hope you enjoyed that. I did.